The rain came down in icy sheets that afternoon, drenching the quiet, overcast town of Brooksville. Detective Samuel Hayes sat hunched in his truck, the heater on full blast, staring out at the damp world. It had been 2 years since his retirement from the force, and though his badge was now tucked away in a drawer at home, his instincts never dulled. But today wasn't about a case. Today was about family. His fingers trembled slightly as he fished the crumpled paper from his coat pocket. The address was clear, printed in neat, sterile handwriting. It was the Canine Rehabilitation Center, where Coda, his former K9 partner, had been retired and reassigned after Samuel's sudden heart attack 2 years ago. Coda was more than a partner. For nearly 7 years, they had been a team, tracking criminals, rescuing lost children, even comforting the broken in ways only a dog could. Samuel's chest tightened at the memory of their last assignment together, a hostage situation gone terribly wrong. They had saved lives that night, but the strain had been too much for Samuel's weakened heart. Unable to work the streets anymore, Samuel had made the hardest decision of his life. He had to let Coda go. The department had found him a new handler, Officer Brent Carson, who was young, ambitious, and capable. The reports had been promising at first. Coda had adapted well to his new partner, but something had changed over time. Coda had been retired early, labeled too unpredictable for service. Samuel shoved the paper back into his pocket and pushed open the truck door. The rain bit at his skin as he crossed the muddy parking lot. His breath fogged the air as he entered the rehabilitation center, the warm interior welcoming, but filled with an antiseptic chill. "Can I help you?" The receptionist's voice was kind but distracted. "Yes, I'm here to see Coda. Coda Hayes." His voice cracked slightly over his own last name. The woman's eyes widened with recognition. "Oh, you're the officer he was partnered with. We weren't sure you'd come." Samuel tried to ignore the pang of guilt. "I'm here now." After a few formalities, a staff member named Marcy led him down a hallway lined with kennels. The echoes of barking and whining clawed at Samuel's nerves. But when they reached the end of the corridor, a strange silence filled the air. "Coda's in here," Marcy said, pausing before a door labeled Private Area, Rehabilitation in Progress. How is he doing?" Samuel asked, his voice thick. Marcy hesitated. Well, it's been hard on him. After his early retirement, he hasn't been the same. Not aggressive, just distant. Like he's lost something he can't quite understand." Samuel's heart clenched. "I need to see him." Marcy opened the door, and there he was. Coda lay curled up on a thick blanket in the corner, his coat still shiny, but lacking the proud stance Samuel remembered. His eyes, once sharp and alert, seemed dulled by a sadness Samuel couldn't bear to see. "Coda," Samuel whispered. The dog's ears twitched slightly, but his gaze remained fixed on the wall. "Coda, it's me. It's Sam." His voice quivered as he took a step forward. Coda's head lifted and he sniffed the air, but his eyes met Samuel's with a blankness that felt like a knife twisting in his chest. "He's been having trouble recognizing people," Marcy said gently. "It's part of why he was retired. He's disconnected." Samuel swallowed hard. "Can I have some time alone with him?" Marcy nodded, closing the door quietly behind her. Samuel crouched down, his knees creaking in protest. "Coda, buddy, I know it's been a while. I should have come sooner. I should have been there for you." Coda's eyes flickered, but he looked away again, his body tense. "I've missed you, Coda. You were my best friend. You still are." Samuel's voice broke, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "You saved my life more times than I can count. And I left you. I left you behind when you needed me." Coda's ears perked slightly. "Remember that day in the park? How you'd chase that damn frisbee for hours and never get tired? Or the nights when we'd both be so exhausted we'd fall asleep in the squad car?" Samuel chuckled, the sound hollow and shaky. He reached into his pocket and pulled out something small and frayed. A faded piece of cloth from the old training towel Coda used to love tugging on. "I kept this," Samuel said, his hand trembling as he held it out. "You tore it up pretty good. but I couldn't bring myself to throw it away. Thought it might bring back some memories. Coda sniffed the air again, his nostrils flaring. His eyes slowly shifted from the wall to the man kneeling before him. Samuel's breath hitched as Coda's gaze softened. Tentative, the dog rose to his feet and took a hesitant step forward. His nose twitched as he sniffed at the rag. Then, as if a switch had been flipped, his eyes widened with recognition. "Coda!" Samuel's voice was nothing more than a whisper now, and then Coda was on him, paws pressing against his chest, his tongue lapping at Samuel's face with fervent, joyful desperation. Samuel laughed and cried at the same time, his hands threading through Coda's fur, holding him like a lifeline. "Oh, buddy, I missed you so damn much." They stayed that way for what felt like an eternity, man and dog reuniting in a moment too pure for words. The pain of the past 2 years melted away in the warmth of Coda's love. Marcy returned later, her eyes misty when she saw the pair. "He remembers you," she said softly. "Yeah, he does," Samuel replied, his voice raw with emotion. "And I'm not letting him go this time." "What are you thinking?" Marcy asked. I'm taking him home. If he'll have me." Coda barked, a joyful, triumphant sound that made Samuel laugh again. Marcy smiled. "I think that's a yes." As they walked out of the center together, the rain had stopped, and the sun was just beginning to pierce through the clouds. Coda trotted proudly beside Samuel, his tail wagging with every step. And for the first time in years, Samuel felt whole. They were a team once more, and nothing would break them apart again. Like a video and subscribe to my channel. Please, thanks for watching.